I wanted to start today's video off with a deep hypothetical question. Do you believe in coincidences? Now, it's not that crazy a story, but it is kind of weird. So I'm in the telehandler getting ready to go rebale, and the Medina County Auditor van pulls up. So I throw my hands in the air thinking like, what did I do now? You know, how bad is it going to be? And then right behind them trickles in this, well, it's pretty much like a 20 or 25 foot straight truck with a box around it that says, Ohio Department of Agricultural Weights and Measures. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're going to measure the scale. But the coincidence, weird type of thing I'm trying to get at here is we go weeks, sometimes we could even probably string together an entire month that we do not use the scale. We don't sell most of our hay by the ton. We don't haul grain out all the time. There's just large lapses of time where we do not use the scale. Well, this morning, Justin was getting the semis ready to haul corn out, and he's about ready to get on the scale. They pull up and they have to do their audit thing. So I'm like, that is just so strange. They could have picked any other day. We could have picked any other day. But it just so happened that the stars aligned and we both picked the same day at the same time. And it's a good thing. These guys aren't out to get anyone or anything. And I do not panic when I see the Medina County Auditor. I'm just playing. But they check all the load cells and make sure that the weight is what it's supposed to be at all different points in the scale. And that's a good thing because it protects both the buyers and sellers when you're dealing with weight and money and things of that sort. So we're glad they came out. They did give us the seal of approval. And we are ready to go for a whole year. I think we just have to pay another, I don't know, like 90 bucks or something like that. Anyways, today is a day filled with tremendous excitement. It has been a very wet spring so far. What is new? I feel like a broken record saying that. Well, it's getting late. I mean, I believe it's April 26th as I'm filming this, and we need to get some fertilizer on this hay ground. The problem is our sprayer can't get anywhere near the road. I mean, no equipment can come off the driveway because you just sink. You'll rut it up. My dad contracted Nutrient Ag. Special thanks to John Akers for setting it all up. He's our agronomist. And we have 4 planes running, putting down urea on our hay fields. And my dad will dig into a little bit more about why we're doing this, but I want you guys to enjoy the sweet footage and look at how some of the hay fields are developing coming into late April. Stopped what we were doing at the home farm and shot out here to, we're calling this the South Farm, the Spencer Farm, to check the airplane out on some of the nicer fields. He is capable, from what I'm told. I'm getting pictures sent to me from the airport. It's like I have people on the inside, which is pretty cool. He can do about 35 acres at a time of putting this urea down. So this farm here is going to take him about 4 fill-ups. We think we got here just at the tail end of the first fill-up. We have a couple different mixes of hay here. Right off to my left, or to the east side, we have a pretty heavy alfalfa with a light orchard grass blend. In the middle of the farm, just past the oil well, you have a much heavier orchard grass with a little bit of alfalfa. And at the far end, past that crest on the hill, we have pretty much pure Timothy. And it can be kind of difficult to keep track of because they have different cutting maturities and all that. And honestly, most of the time when it's ready to go, we just cut the whole farm or at least half the farm. So it's very hard to be super detailed with different maturities, but you just make sure they're organized appropriately in the barn. We don't plant a whole lot of straight alfalfa. We almost always throw a Timothy or an orchard grass mix into it because our alfalfa stands really only last, at most a nice stand lasts 5 years around here because we have pretty harsh winters, some of the ground's wet, it's hard on the alfalfa. This field right here, which is planted with heavy alfalfa, light orchard, was planted at the same mix as this field right here, but this field is 2 years older. So I'll show you the difference. This is the cutoff line right here. This is 3 years later. You really can hardly see any alfalfa. Just some tidbits here and there, you know, intermingled into a nice orchard. And you just cross right over that line and it's littered with alfalfa. I mean, a tremendous amount. So that's why we like to put orchard grass down, because it will fill in. The field itself will be healthier longer. You won't have to have the extra planting and reseeding costs and everything that you do with alfalfa. So we like to have the mixes. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to be very respectful of the guy's airspace, and the drone is yelling at me manned aircraft nearby, so it's not flying any higher than you and me. Just get a different camera on it. How often have you called in airplanes, Dad?
Last 2 years in a row we've had them, because last year we had the cutworms come in. Probably about every 5-6 years you got to get them in.
How come we're doing it this year?
Because the hay needs to get the nitrogen on it, and it's too wet to get on with the dry machine.
Right. And so we do own that nice Haggy sprayer, but unfortunately the downfall of your sprayers are that they still have to go into the field.
Yeah.
And even with our large floater tires and everything, our ground is just way too wet. We would cause a lot of damage, a lot of compaction issues going in there. So we made the call to bring in a aerial or airplane application through Nutrien, and they are putting down, what, 150 pounds of urea, and hopefully that'll get us some growth, because we're 2 or 3 weeks behind last year, definitely, according to some pictures.
Oh yeah.
We are here at the Spencer farm, which is just a little bit south of our home farm, and the dirt is a little bit drier, a little more sandier, and it's definitely 2 or 3 weeks ahead of the home farm that we're usually at. So this isn't showing the clear picture of the area, because this hay looks pretty nice, but we are behind. We actually took a really nice cutting off this farm in a fresh seeding in the middle, about where I'm pointing, last year, May 11th. And it made like 80 bale, so it was, you know, that's not too far away. That's 2.5 weeks away, and there's no way we're getting a cutting that early this year. Dad, what were you saying? The airplanes have advanced quite a bit. You used to have to do what?
Oh, now they're set up on GPS and everything else like that. Back when I was a kid, you used to have to stand at each end of the field with a white flag, marking the distance off so they knew where to go.
Probably with herbicide or anything, it didn't matter.
Yeah, you just had to be there so you knew where to go. But yeah, now they got guidance just like on tractors or anything else like.
That's incredible.